Alright, for this video we're going to be looking at accelerating a charged particle through parallel plate electric field and determining the velocity of the particle as it comes out of the electric field. So the setup we're going to be using is, again, parallel plates. We have a width of 12.4 centimeters. The electric field between the plates is 594.0 newtons per coulomb. The red arrow pointing down is showing the direction of the electric field, and that means that the top plate is going to be positive, bottom plate is going to be negative, and we know that the electric field in between parallel plates is a uniform electric field. So we're going to be firing a proton accelerated through a potential difference of 145 volts. That's this setup right here. It's then going to be shot into these parallel plates, and we want to find the velocity of the proton as it exits the parallel plates over on this side. Okay, so before we get into the mathematics of it, let's take a look at an animation from ophysics.com. It's an HTML5 animation. So we have our parallel plates. Top plate is positive, bottom plate is negative. This is our positively charged particle. Not the same numbers as we're going to be using, but this just gives us an idea of what will be happening. So we click run. Our charged particle, which was accelerated, goes in between the plates, and we notice that there is a deflection. The deflection is downwards, and the idea is we want to figure out, as it's coming out of the field, what is the final velocity of the particle. So let's continue with our example. So this is the accelerating potential right here. It's going to be 145 volts. So we're going to be looking at the change in electric potential energy is equal to the change in kinetic energy. We've already gone through this on a previous video. So Q delta V, which is the charge on the proton, times the voltage equals 1/2 mv squared. When we rearrange, we get the speed is equal to 2 times Q, which is the charge on the proton, times the accelerating voltage divided by the mass of the proton. We plug in our numbers. 2 times charge on a proton is 1.602 times 10 to the negative 19 coulombs. Our accelerating voltage is 145 volts. And the mass of the proton is 1.673 times 10 to the negative 27 kilograms. And that gives us a speed of 1.666 times 10 to the 5, and the units are meters per second, as we found in a previous video. So now we're going to take a look at the setup. The proton's coming into the electric field with a speed of 1.666 times 10 to the 5 meters per second. It ends up getting deflected down. There will be an acceleration in the downward direction. So we're going to look at our x components and our y components, and we're just going to go with the standard Cartesian coordinate system. X is horizontal to the right, y is positive going up. So in terms of our x components, v1x, which is the initial velocity, is also equal to the final velocity in the x direction. There is no acceleration in the x direction. This is going to be in a vacuum, no air resistance whatsoever. So 1.66 times 10 to the 5 meters per second. The distance it has to travel in the x direction is 0.124 meters. That's the length of those plates. So we're looking for time inside the plates, time inside the field. Time is equal to distance over velocity. So 0.124 meters divided by 1.66 times 10 to the 5 meters per second gives us a time of 7.4429 times 10 to the negative 7 seconds. So that's how long the proton will be in between those parallel plates. Let's take a look at the y components. There is no initial velocity in the y direction. We are actually trying to find v2y. We don't have an acceleration, and we only have a time. So we actually have too many unknowns right now to use a kinematic equation. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at Newton and forces to get our acceleration. So F equals ma, Newton's equation. In terms of electric fields, the electric field is equal to mass times the acceleration of the y direction. And the electric field is equal to Q, which is the charge on the proton, times the magnitude of the electric field. If we combine the equations, we get Q epsilon, or the charge on the proton times the electric field, is equal to the mass of the proton times the acceleration of the y direction. Rearrange to solve for the acceleration of the y direction, and we plug in our numbers. Charge on a proton, this is our electric field. Here is the mass on a proton. We end up getting across the top 9.51558 times 10 to the 17, and we have coulombs and newtons per coulomb. So the coulombs will actually cancel off and just leave us with newtons. The mass on the bottom was 1.673 times 10 to the negative 27 kilograms. So newtons is not a base unit. The unit of Newton is actually a kilogram meter per second squared. So now we've got kilogram meter per second squares over kilograms. Kilograms will cancel out. Now we're left with 9.51588 times 10 to the negative 17 divided by the mass of the proton, and the units will be meters per second squared. So the acceleration of the proton in the y direction is 5.687 times 10 to the 10th meters per second squared. So now if we look at our y components, initial velocity in the y direction is 0. We're looking for the final velocity in the y direction. We have our acceleration in the y direction and the time in the field. Using our kinematic equation, v2 equals v1 plus at. Because it was initially at rest in the y direction, that first term goes to 0. And now to solve for v2y, it is the acceleration, 5.687 times 10 to the 10 meters per second squared times the time interval, 7.4429 times 10 to the negative 7 seconds. That gives us 4.234 times 10 to the fourth, and we had meters per second squared times seconds, which gives us meters per second. Now that is simply the final velocity in the y direction. So if we look back at our setup, the proton was coming in, it was being pushed down by the electric field, it was traveling in a horizontal direction with a constant speed. In this case it's v2x, which is still this 1.666 times 10 to the 5 meters per second. We just solve for v2y. So we have a right angle triangle. So we're solving for the hypotenuse, which is Pythagorean theorem, and we're solving for the angle, which is the tan of opposite over adjacent. And once you have done that, we get a final velocity of 1.72 times 10 to the 5 meters per second, and the direction will be right 14.3 degrees down.